Hello YouTubers, how you doing? CJ here. I hope you're keeping well. And good morning to you. Well, another video. And this time, I'm going to show you a different collection. Okay, before I do get into it, as I always do in every video, I would just like to say a big thank you to all my new subscribers because, it's still going up little by little, but you know what? I really can't thank you all enough. And again, those of you who've been with me from the very beginning. So I hope you're enjoying the content. I've had a couple of questions since my last video I did, which was on the That's the Way It Is. I did a little That's the Way It Is recap of my little collection there. And I've had some emails, and I gotta say, I've had this one email, and it is the most funniest email I've ever had. I don't really know how to take it, but I couldn't help but laugh my head off at it. And I don't mean any offense, but I couldn't help it. The email said, "Hello there, CJ. Been following your channel for quite some time. I want to email you to ask some questions, but how do I email you?" You just did. So, go figure. I mean, how do you email me? You emailed me, so okay. I'm not gonna mention any names, but just email me any questions that you want, alright? Like you already did email me to ask me how do you email me. Okay. Some of the emails I've had have been I don't know, a little bit up and down. There's still a lot of negativity about the new footage from people people are emailing me saying, look, CJ, this footage is not new. It's been out there for years. Look, I'm not going to get into any debates. I made it clear in my video. Yes, the footage have been around for years. In fact, I even showed some of the bootlegs. Like I showed the Complete Works box set, for instance. We know the footage has been out there for years, but a lot of people still haven't seen that footage because, there are some Elvis fans who wouldn't even entertain bootlegs. They won't buy them for love nor money because they just don't want them. So, those people, those fans, they haven't seen this footage. So to many people, it is still new footage. And actually, it's never been released officially. So it's still good to have it out there. And what we had before in bootleg quality, we're now going to see in pristine condition. And Baz have already said that it's not going to be a documentary. It's not going to be a concert movie. So what is it going to be? That's, to me, you could take it two ways, but I'm kind of a little excited about that. They've said about using the concept of the Get Back documentary / movie. See, I'm using that term now, documentary and movie. So if they did it like that, hey, happy days, because they can just put it all there. Obviously, there's a lot more footage than the Beatles Get Back to do, but if they did like that, happy days, rock and roll. All right, so enough of that. Let's get down to it. I'm going to be showing another collection that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, but I say I've been wanting to do it for quite some time. I've been effing and having, really, to be honest. But you know what? I'm gonna do it. Now this is a collection that you might not sort of think of me as showing, but I'm going to show you my horror collection that I have on DVD because I'm a big fan of comedy and I'm a big fan of horror, just as I'm a big fan of music. So I'm gonna start off with now. Before I do start showing, I got my DVDs when we moved house. I had to change the way all my DVD collection was due to space and storage. So I've got my DVDs in these boxes here, these storage tubs. And I've had to sacrifice quite a few of them as well. And I've had to put them in a massive pouch where I have taken the covers out. I put the covers away. I've still got the covers, but I've had to put the DVD discs in a pouch. So some of them I've got in here. Some of them are like some of my most favourites. and there's still a lot of my favourites that I need to get more boxes for. I need to sort things out. But you know what? And that's another reason why I've been wanting to do it for a while, but I've been ifing and having. Um, so I'm going to start off this collection. I'm going to start off with will be condensed. I am going to be taking all the covers out of this collection, and I'm going to be putting all the discs into three 5-way cases to condense them. And I've already got the 3 blank cases already in this box, but I've got to create the covers and so forth. It's just a condensed space, but the discs are obviously original. Anyway, here we go with the first one. It's my Halloween collection. Now, I absolutely love the Halloween movies. When I was younger, I was a bit 50-50, but, because I've always been a massive Nightmare on Elm Street fan. And I was going to start off with that collection, but because I haven't put these in the collection yet, in the condensed them, I thought let's start off with these since I've still got them in the cases. So this is the original first movie. This is John Carpenter's Halloween. It's the original DVD release. I'm not sure if there's anything under there. Is there? No. Nothing under the disc. So that's a pretty cool cover. Now this, it says on the back, right here, it says, Halloween has been fully restored under the supervision of Lucas's THX Digital Mastering Services. The DVD was transferred by the award-winning colorist Adam Adams, and in brackets got Terminator 2 and Titanic, from a new 35mm interpositive mode made from the original camera negative and approved by the film's cinematographer Dean Cudley, and then in brackets Jurassic Park and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So yeah, pretty awesome. And then we have, of course, Halloween 2, which follows on directly on the same night as Halloween 1 at the end. It follows straight on. So, I mean, in theory, you could take the credits, the opening credits of this, remove the text, as in the credits, and link both of them together and have one massive long film, So, Halloween 2. My wife has only just completed this franchise for me, which I'm really happy. Some of the DVDs I didn't have, she bought me for Christmas, just gone last year. Isn't last year really weird to talk about when it was only just over a month ago? But don't you find that January just dragged? It seemed to go on forever. Then, Halloween 3 seasons. Season of the Witch, the night no one came home. Now, hold on a minute. So, Halloween was Halloween, and then Halloween 2, more of the night he came home. I only just realised about that. Silly me. Okay. And this one, the night no one came home. Now, there are so many people that could put this movie down, and I can actually understand it, and I agree. In the Halloween Michael Myers franchise, it should not be included. It shouldn't be called Halloween 3. I mean, I've watched the movie. I actually understand it. It was only just recently I actually done some research and Googled why this is in the franchise, or why they changed it and took Michael Myers out. They wanted to move on, with the story type thing. I create a series of Halloween movies, but just different sort of events and stuff. So, I mean, removing Michael Myers is just a big no-no for me in this one. It should not be part of the Halloween franchise. I've only got it because it is part of the franchise, even though I don't class it as part of the franchise, and I think many would agree as well. it's a good sort of like wacky standalone film if you like the cheap budget sort of horror movies type thing. But I've watched it twice now. Once when I was younger, and obviously when I got the DVD for Christmas, just gone. Will I watch it again? Nah, not really. It's just not my cup of tea. But it's in with my collection because it's part of the franchise. Um, if they wanted to do this movie, they should have just called it Season of the Witch without calling it Halloween. Or if they wanted to go like with a Halloween franchise where there's different stories, call Halloween and giving it a subtitle like this. They could have just named it Halloween Season of the Witch. You know, they didn't have to put Halloween 3. That way, then we could have taken it out of the Michael Myers Halloween franchise. You know, but sadly, there it is. So. And then we've got my favourite of all the Halloween franchise, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. I mean, Donald Pleasance is back in this. He was in part 1 and he was in part 2 and he's in part 4. I absolutely think this is fantastic. I love this movie. Out of all of them, as I said, this is my favourite out of the franchise. Absolutely adore it. Alright, so there's nothing on the inside of that one, it's just blank. No, I love this movie through and through. And then, in fact, Donald Pleasance is in 1, 2, 4, and this one, 5. Halloween 5, which again follows on kind of from the events after Halloween 4. Not quite like Halloween Part 2, where it's like the same night. You do see it like on the same night. It does follow on, but it then moves on a bit, you know. So, but still a good movie. You know, it's pretty cool. Again, there's a lot of mixed reviews about this movie. So, Halloween 4, but again, it's Michael Myers, and this is called The Revenge of Michael Myers. And then we've got Halloween 6, which is The Curse of Michael Myers, and this is the last movie that Donald Pleasance was in. He obviously he's much older, but you know, again, fantastic actor in this movie. And this is quite an interesting movie because obviously, again, it follows on with like certain events. You get more of the storyline, the backstory type thing. So yeah, Curse of Michael Myers. And then we have Halloween H2O 20 years later. And look who's back in it, Jamie Lee Curtis. Now she's in part 1, part 2. There is a picture of her in part 4. And then you got this. Now, I will be honest with you, when I was a bit younger, I had a bit of a crush on Jamie Lee Curtis. So anyway, awesome movie. Awesome movie. It's quite, funny because this one you think, because this one was originally supposed to be the end. Jamie Lee Curtis said in an interview on one of the documentaries, which I'm going to show in a few minutes, that this was supposed to be like the end. She wanted like to bring some sort of closure to it, but one of the bit of snags in the in the contract is that, evil never dies. You can't kill Michael Myers. He keeps coming back. No matter how many times you kill him, he keeps coming back. Um, so the producers turned around and said, well, would you be happy with if you chop his head off at the end, but still give it a bit of scope for him to come back? And, because you never know what the outcome's going to be. So she was like, yeah, sure, So, but it's still, when you think about it, how can you make that a concept, But they did it very, very cleverly, which I'm going to explain in a second. So this is Halloween H2O. And then Halloween Resurrection with, again, Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, Jamie Lee Curtis is only in it at the beginning part because it also explains how Michael Myers is still alive. Now, there is obviously explanations in all of them if you really pay attention and listen closely to what everything that's been said in the movies. But this one was pretty cool how they did this. In Halloween H2O, she chopped his head off. And it was revealed in this one that it wasn't really Michael Myers' head. In fact, Michael Myers, when she killed him in that one, obviously, when they left the room, obviously he's put out as he's got up and he swapped himself with someone else, put the mask on someone else, etc., etc. And when she chopped his head off at the beginning of this one, when it's going back on things and retelling the ending of H2O, they pull the mask off and it's actually I think it's a security guard or a police officer or somebody. But that's how basically they was able to bring him back in this one, portraying that it wasn't really Michael Myers she killed in H2O. So, yeah. Now, sadly, it's believed in this one that she sadly gets killed by Michael Myers. Michael Myers finally goes to the hospital that she's in and kills her on the roof. And she falls to her death. That's what it's believed anyway, and you think that's it for her, but obviously it's not, as we find out a few DVDs later. So, Halloween Resurrection. Okay, now, the cover for this, I'm going to tell you. It's Halloween. It's actually Rob Zombie's Halloween. Uncut. Director's cut. In fact, the director's cut is longer than the standard version. There's extra stuff in it. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of it. I get the concept of why it was remade, but I'm not a big fan of the Rob Zombie movies. And that's that. So it is really, for me, it is what it is. Now, this is a paper cover that I printed out to put in because I was never really bothered about it. So there was a part of me that wasn't going to even buy the Rob Zombie movies of Halloween. And I know there may be a lot of people out there now who's watching this who really do adore the Rob Zombie versions, probably shouting their heads off at me. But you know something? It's everybody's, personal preference. And for me, I'm just not a big fan. Did okay. I get the concept of this one, but that's as far as it goes. Now, because I wasn't going to buy them, my wife had a big job lot of DVDs in it, and the actual original disc was in one of the cases. Now, the disc's original. The disc is original, and with the same job lot that she had in, she also had Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 in the original case with the original disc. So I just thought, you know what? I'm not paying for them, so I'll keep them and put them in with the collection. Whatever, just to complete it, I guess. So I printed out a paper cover just to put in. It does go back to his childhood. That's why I get the concept. I got to say that I'm a big fan. I've got mixed feelings, I get the concept of it. It goes, you see more of the background story on Michael Myers and, the way that the family life was and so forth, and how we become, obviously the slasher, the killer, whichever you want to call him. But I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm just not a big fan of it. But anyway, there's Halloween Uncut, Director's Cut. Now, I did, however, out of interest, I couldn't find, well, I struggled to find the original, not the theatrical version. But I went onto YouTube. There's a fantastic comparison video showing, what's in both versions and what's not in the theatrical. And there is a lot more in this, So, for that reason, that's the way it's going to stay. I'm not going to bother with the theatrical version. So, that's that. There is an unrated version of this movie as well, I know of. But again, I'm not going to search for it because, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the Rob Zombie versions. But this is Halloween 2 Rob Zombies, and the subtitle is Family is Forever. I thought, like, with this one, maybe they were going to try to carry on the franchise, like remake all the movies, but they obviously they stopped at this. So that's that. Okay, and now back to what I would call the original franchise. Here we go with Halloween. And I think, really, from looking at this is a direct follow-on from the original Halloween, missing out the events of like all the other years type thing. So yeah, which is explained in the like the extras on here and so forth. So it includes 30 minutes of bonus features. This is a really good movie. I enjoyed this because, again, it saw the return of Jamie Lee Curtis. So that's perfect. I really enjoyed this one. Well, I really enjoyed all of them. I enjoy all of them, apart from number 3 and the Rob Zombie ones. Although I would watch the Rob Zombie ones again. Would I pick them out of the collection to put on specifically? Maybe. Because, feelings do change. I mean, there were movies when I saw when I was younger that I didn't like at all, and I thought, nah, I'm never going to entertain them. But then, over years, I found myself going back and actually watching them. So, hopefully they'll grow on me. It'd be a shame if they didn't. So, Halloween. And that was the most... when my wife got me this, she had to type in the year that it was made, because obviously it's just called Halloween. And Halloween has been reissued now a few times with, the cover, I think, been mainly the same, but there's still been one or two other covers done for it. So she had to make sure that she was getting the right one for me and not getting me the original one again. So that's that. And then we had Halloween Kills, and this is the extended cut. I think this is awesome. Again, following on from the events of this one, I think, again, it's perfect the way the franchise have gone. Includes 2 versions of the movie. You got the original and extended with alternative ending. Of course, I watched both versions. I'd be silly not to, right? I mean, come on. So, absolutely perfect. And you know what? Weird shape. Oh no, I thought it looked the same as the other one that I just showed you. So, Halloween Kills. Just another thing as well. It doesn't have anything on it. You've got to look right at the small print writing to see what it is. Awesome movie, and then from that follows on with Halloween Ends, includes deleted extended scenes. That one, yeah, Halloween Kills, and this one is, oh no, let's just review. This one is Halloween Ends. Includes deleted and extended scenes, and they are perfecto. This is like pretty awesome. pretty awesome. Get followers on, and it witnesses finally. Obviously, within the contract, there must have been something to say, yeah, okay, we can end the franchise now, or what have you. Like she wanted to do with H2O, but obviously Jamie Lee Curtis was like, come on, let's, so it's like, yeah, she finally got to kill Michael Myers. There was a few people that said they were disappointed with the ending, with the way he died. I actually think it was pretty awesome, really. I mean, the way that it ended and stuff. So yeah, there's no way you can come back from this. I'm not going to tell you how she kills him, just in case there are people out there who haven't seen it. If you haven't, and you're a fan of horror, get out there and get in and watch it. So as Halloween ends, and then now there are a few documentaries that I saw going around on YouTube and different things. But then there were two documentaries that really sprung to mind when I was looking up at what are the best documentaries to get. Because I love watching documentaries of the movie franchise, of different movie franchises, of everything. So Halloween for me was no exception. And I found this one here. This is Halloween 25 Years of Terror. This is absolutely fantastic. Now, this is a double feature version. Disc 1 contains Halloween, the movie, and then you've got. Now, I'm not. It's a little difficult because obviously I've got the original movie. Obviously there is like an uncut one, which I do have actually. That's separate discs. I've only got the disc for it. Anyway, um, you got the Halloween the movie, then you got Halloween Unmasked, which is a 2000 documentary. Then you got trailers and TV spots and radio spots. Now, disc 2 is just one feature on there, which is 25 Years of Terror documentary, which explains about all the movies basically. Up to when this was done, this was made 2005, copyright 2007. This version came out. So it will only go up to the movies that were made up until that point. There's not actually been an up to date documentary made about all of the movies. I hope there is, but because of this one and the next one I'm going to show you, there might not be any point. Or if they do, will they just do a documentary on the Halloween movies from when these ones came out upwards? So on the DVDs themselves, there are behind the scenes footage, and there's a lot of extras on there. Like I'm sure there's even a documentary on one of them, within the special features which explains about the movie. So I'm pretty happy with what I got when it comes to Halloween. It's like uncut version, there's slight little scene differences, but I'll keep that as a separate disc, which I'll probably show you out of the pouch. So I'm pretty happy with this. This is Halloween 25 Years of Terror. So we're going to take this one out there. We'll continue the story. Okay. And then another documentary. Now, I wanted to get this for ages. No, I don't have the box. I don't have the other ones either. Okay. This is Halloween, The Inside Story. Now, I was looking for this to complete the collection. But again, I didn't want to overpay for it, This has become a little bit of a collectible item. I don't know why. But it was quite expensive. You can get it for like between 20 and 30 quid. However, I discovered a box set. And the box set was The Inside Story of Halloween, Jaws, and The Silence of the Lambs. And I thought, if I could maybe get a box set, of all three, maybe that would be a little bit of a cheaper way to get it. My wife found this. A situation happened recently. A friend's mum was basically, I asked if she could find it in CEX or what have you. Anyway, basically she ordered, got it on the way for me. Something's happened. I'm no longer friends with this person and the family, so I thought, well, that's me stuffed in for the DVD. I'll just have to pay all the odds for it. It was quite upsetting what happened. I'm not going to go into it, but basically, my wife that night, I was talking, and I was actually looking at my Halloween collection, and I brought this up. Anyway, that night, my wife surprised me, went onto Amazon and found the triple DVD box set of the ones I just mentioned, the Jaws one and the Silence of the Lambs, and this together. And she bought it used and new for only like £4.90, something like that. So it was just under a fiver. And she surprised me with it. It came through the other day, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, wow, thank you so much, So, and the fact it was in an individual case for this cover, it was perfect. It didn't really matter to me if it was like a flip fold-out cover because, like I said, I'm taking all of these DVDs out. There's a disc there, and I'm going to be putting them in a. There's going to be 3 DVD cases with 5 discs in each. The one will be a 6-way because the 25 Years of Terror is a double disc. So this, again, the inside story. Now, this is more focused on the original 1978 movie Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween. But it gives like a brief mention of the other movies up until to the point this was made. So, pretty awesome. So, now we move on to the DVD sets in here. Now, like I said, there are some DVDs that I've got in the pouch. I will show you those as I go along, but I'll have to look for them whilst we're on here, once I'm doing the video. Okay, what I was originally going to start out showing you is a franchise that has been my first love since I was a kid. Okay, I know kids shouldn't be watching horror movies, but, I mean, this person is like Santa Claus, if you think about it. Every kid knows who he is. Well, not every kid, but, some kids. A Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, I absolutely adore Freddy Krueger. I think he's just like awesomely funny. Probably a horror hero of mine. I don't have it with me, but I've got a mask, a full-on mask, which goes over my head, around my chest, and it is silicone. It's not latex, it's silicone, and it sticks to you. So when I'm talking out and moving my mouth, the mask and everything moves as well. It sticks to you, so it's a proper 100% one. It's not one of the cheapy ones or anything like that. It's the proper mask. And the mask originally costed, to buy it brand new, it would have cost me £400 from, I think it's called Studio Effects, is it, in Hollywood? I think it's that, anyway. But I won it on eBay many, many years ago for like 230 something pound. And I remember it wasn't too far from me. And I wanted it for Halloween that year, and it came the day before we went on holiday. So it's like, yes! Brilliant! So yeah, I scared a few people that year. And I've still got it today, and I still wear it every single year. Every single year. If you want to see the mask and what have you, let me know in the comment section. I don't have it here, actually. All the Halloween stuff you see, our costumes and everything, gets put away, and that is put away with it because it is part of my Halloween costume. I know many collectors have them on head busts and what have you. I mean, I do have a replica glove, a real proper metal, sharp metal glove, from Nightmare 1, where the pin is in. I haven't got that to show you because at the moment that's on a hand bust, the official Nightmare on Elm Street glove. The one that I wear on Halloween is a Ruby's Deluxe one, plastic. It's hard plastic. So, and that's all in the Halloween box. I got the hat, I got the whole get-up. And if you want to see the costume, I mean, I'm not sure if I've got any on the phone or any on the computer. I'll try and sort something out if you want to see it, that is. But, it's in full swing. Anyway, this contains all of the movies. Disc 1 Nightmare on Elm Street. Disc 2, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors. And Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, The Dream Master. And Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child. And Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. And then Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And then Disc 8, all new Fear himself, the life and crimes of Freddy Krueger. There's a documentary. There's all different things on here, extras. Absolutely fantastic. Now, there is a different box set that came out in America where it's like when it's on its side, it's got like a picture of Freddy like from behind type thing. Now, that version contained the Freddy's Dead in 3D because this box set, it's only the 2D version. But what do I have here? So you've got all the discs of this box set. And at the very back here, look at this. Yes, it is the original DVD from the American set. I mean, all my DVD players and Blu-ray players are multi-region anyway, so I can play any DVD or Blu-ray from anywhere in the world. That's the original disc for Freddy's Dead. Because I did have that box set. And I gave it to my father. He wasn't too bothered about it, so I just gave him a copy of the of this disc. And I kept the original with 2 pairs of glasses, and on the glasses, it's got a Nightmare on Elm Street. So pretty cool. I would like, however, I've seen it a few times on eBay, but it's been pretty expensive to get the original videotape of Freddy's Dead in 3D because the glasses that come with it actually states Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare on them. So that would be pretty cool to like add. I will get it at some point, but just not quite yet. Maybe when I win the lottery or something. So, Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, there are a lot of people that put it down to the quality and stuff like that, but I happen to, think this is, perfect for me. I enjoy everything. There is a collection of these I'd love to get, and they got each. It's like a digipack or book pack. They've got the original artwork of each movie on the front, and on the inside, it's like a booklet with it as well. And I think they only came out in Germany. I think it was Germany they came out. But they look absolutely fantastic, and they're all housed as well in a box. They even put Never Sleep Again in there as well, which I think that's the one it comes with. And then you got to get all of the movies individually. But when you get them individually to put them in the case in this lovely box, there's not enough room in there to fit Never Sleep Again in there, which is pretty weird. You'd think they would keep the space. But anyway, I would love to get hold of that, and maybe that'll probably be my next collector's mission. Maybe next, I don't know, but I really would love to get that. But it's just too expensive. Because if you find the box set on its own with somebody selling all the Blu-rays with it and everything, it's quite a pretty price. It's quite a pretty price. So that's that. And then obviously we have Freddy vs. Jason. This is the 2-disc edition. Now, I'm not a big fan of Friday the 13th, if I'm honest. I like the original, the first one, but I don't know. I prefer Michael Myers and Freddy over Jason, to be honest. Please don't ask me why. And if you're a big fan of Jason and you're shouting at me right now, I apologize. But it is personal preference. Yeah, I actually get the concept of this movie. I don't like the person who plays Freddy because, come on, nobody can play Freddy other than Robert Englund, who, by the way, I have met. I met him at Comic-Con, and I had a picture with him as well. I would have shown it to you, but I haven't long put the pictures up in the bedroom, so I can't do that. But he's a lovely guy, very down to earth. Hopefully he will come near me again so I can go and meet him. And I'll probably take my glove to maybe get signed. If that happens, I'll keep the glove out. I might do another video if you want to see it. So yeah, I get the concept of the movie where they go back and everything, but it's like how Freddy started out and stuff like that, how he become Freddy. But I'm sorry, I don't like the actor who plays him, but I got it for the collection. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. Many people put it down, but after watching it a couple of times, I do get it. I get the concept, but sorry. No offense to the actor who plays him, but sorry, you're just not Freddy. Robert England is the best. Nobody will ever touch Robert England. Then you got a fantastic documentary. This is like the ultimate documentary of documentaries for me on movies. This is about all of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I cannot remember. I don't think it is. I don't think this one is mentioned in the remake. I haven't watched this for quite some time. I've got to rewatch this again because this is like one of my favorite documentaries. This is 2-disc collector's edition. Never Sleep Again, The Elm Street Legacy. You won't find any horror documentary better than this one, and I agree with it. This is absolutely fantastic. Every bit of detail about the Nightmare on Elm Street films and Freddy vs. Jason. It even talks about the series, which I'll get to in a minute. However, there's like a follow-up type thing to this called Never Sleep Again 2, I Am Nancy, which is about Heather Langenkamp, who plays Nancy, which I do have the original on Blu-ray. Now, when I was looking for that, I got the original Blu-ray cover, and I put that in here with the... Oh, I should have done that. I put it in here with the DVD cover on like reverse type thing. Because I like them together. Now, I was trying to find this on DVD, I Am Nancy. But the Blu-ray was cheaper than the DVD. The DVD was like 30 to 40 quid. The Blu-ray I got for a fiver. Basically for anybody who's watching overseas, a fiver, a tenner, £10, £5. Okay? So, I got the Blu-ray just so I could have it, but they're all played on the same devices, so, I basically put them in here together like this. So, they're all together. So yeah, Never Sleep Again. Absolutely fantastic. Now, they also brought out a series called Freddy's Nightmares, which has never been, never been released. A few episodes been released on videotape. There's been, I think, 2 or 3 DVD releases, but they never released a full series of, series 1 and 2. Now, altogether, there are 44 episodes of Freddy's Nightmares. They were all broadcast on television, but they've never all been released. So, there was a guy in America. I'm not going to mention the names, but they basically, him and his team of friends, they were really, really clever with the editing, with how they did it, and they got all the episodes, all 44 episodes, and they compiled this Blu-ray set here. Now, this Blu-ray set did cost me, I think it was £150 in our money, and I went for it because it was the only way to get all 44 episodes. Now, I did have them before already on DVDs and stuff, but the quality was not really right. However, this box set, the people really, really did go all out with, and they really took their time on the remastering process of every episode. And I mean, it's approximately 33 hours. You know what I mean? And there are shed loads of extras on here as well. The menuing was done perfectly. Each disc was done perfectly. You just cannot fault it. And this bonus disc here is A Nightmare on Elm Street, the unreleased extras. Absolutely packed with outtakes and different things. Oh, it's just fantastic. But that's the whole complete series of Freddy's Nightmares. Okay, now I want to move on to vampire movies, because I love vampires. Okay, so This is Fright Night, the complete collection. Now, the hardest disc, the hardest movie for me to get hold of was part two. Because here in the UK, it's never had an official DVD or Blu-ray release. Now, you can buy it from Europe and what have you, but it's actually not an official release. People say it is, but it's not. I've bought many of them, and I've been let down by all of them. The only original DVD release of Fright Night Part 2 was in America, in the US, and it had a limited DVD release. And when I was looking for it, it was coming up on eBay at like £100, £70, £80. I think the cheapest I found was about 60 quid. And I thought, in other words, £60, that is. And I was like, I'm not paying that for one DVD yet. But then again, I was like, if I could afford it, I would, because I really, really love the movies. Now, so I started looking for, just disc only. Is anyone just selling the disc? Because I'm going to put them into a box set anyway to condense space and storage, which I do with a lot of my DVDs and movies. I still keep the original covers, mind. I got them in a nice big Polly Pocket, but storage-wise, I try to do the best I can. So one day I remember being very, very ill, and I was on the sofa, having warm rice pudding, flicking through eBay on my phone, and finally, literally my luck was in. Somebody was obviously loving me at that point because they said, let's make somebody put it on there. Somebody, again, not far from me, location-wise, put Fright Night Part 2, the original DVD release from America, but it was only the disc. Now, it was about £20, but I thought, you know what, I don't care. It's the original disc. I'm not bothered about the cover. I got a copy of the original cover if I wanted to really put it in its own case or what have you. But I thought, it doesn't bother me. I'll put the box set together, buy it there and then. And I did. And I created this cover myself. And on the top there is the companies that, like, each company that brought out the DVDs. So you got Columbia, Ariston, is it? I think it is Ariston. Touchwood and 20th Century Fox. Now, this company here is what brought out Part 2. So, in here, you got Fright Night from 1985. You got Fright Night Part 2 from 1988. Then you got Fright Night the Remake from 2011. And then you got Fright Night 2 New Blood, which was quite... I thought it was obviously going to be a follow-up from the remake of Fright Night. Now, for me, some remakes work and some don't. This one worked. And it had that feeling. Horror films, for me, have got to have a certain feeling about them. So, here's the back. So you got all the individual covers there, without obviously their font on. And you got all the storylines and stuff. So, you got Fright Night Part 1, Fright Night Part 2, the original DVD. The original only official DVD release of it. Fright Night Remake, and then you got Fright Night 2 New Blood. Then I got a copy of this and I had to put it together in two parts. This is You're So Cool, Brewster. That's a documentary like Never Sleep Again. It's about all the Fright Night movies. I want to get the original if I can at some point, but again, it is so expensive. I mean, and it was so limited. I don't know why things get being brought out limited editions and what have you. So that's my Fright Night collection. Then we come on to the most classic horror vampire of all time, Dracula. Now this is my Christopher Lee collection that I put together. I do have some original DVDs in here in my pouch. I think I got two, which I'll probably show you as I go along. When I do find the others, I'm going to obviously redo this. I do love my front cover, though, however. But maybe I'll redo the back. This was like one of my first box sets that I put together. And I did some downloads of, the Dracula movies on from Blu-ray rips and what have you, and I just put my own set together. So that's that there, and that's the back. As you can tell, again, not the best cover at the back. It was sort of like slapdash together a bit. Storylines are very, very small there to read. But for me, Christopher Lee is the most fun, the best Dracula you can get. And they are my designs. Now, anything I do myself, designing-wise or cover-wise, you will never find on sale anyway, because I don't create things to sell. I don't bootleg things around. I create things for myself, for my personal collection, not for financial gain or anything else. And I'm putting that out there because before in the past when I would show my Elvis stuff and stuff that I did, I got so many emails, what have you. So I'm just pointing that out there. Alright? So don't ask me for a copy of these because the answer would be no. So they're all there, all the movies where Christopher Lee plays Dracula. Absolutely fantastic. Do I have a favourite? That'd be hard to pick. I do, however. I'm quite fond of Dracula AD 1972. But I do love them all the same. And then obviously you've got the classic Bram Stoker's Dracula. Now this is a collector's edition. Spectacular 2-disc set over 3 hours of special features, including director's commentary, 4 new documentaries and deleted scenes. So, what's cool on this? You got the story there. And if you take out disc 2, you've got story continues there about it all. So, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Now, I haven't watched this yet. But it says, Daughters of Dracula, suspense, sex, mayhem, and usually erotic. Viewers, please be advised about what I'm about to show you when I turn this over. I will try and make it as quick as I possibly can. Zing, zing, zing. That's it. I haven't watched it yet, but but yeah, it's a proper release and everything. This came in a bit of a job lot that my wife had in, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch it at some point. And I didn't realize at first what it was, and I hadn't really looked at it until I was sorting all my DVDs out the other day. So when I read that, I was like, okay. Now another classic movie, which turned in and obviously to a 3-movie part, is the Lost Boys trilogy. You know, some people, don't really like the Tribe or the Thirst, which is part 2 and part 3. But I love them all. I really enjoy all 3 movies of the Lost Boys. They are cult classics. This is my own design of the box set. Obviously, the original DVDs are in here. And I found like a picture of all 3 guys and basically done my own background. So, but again, just condense everything and I put all 3 movies. Yeah. Another collector's 2-disc collector's edition from Dusk Till Dawn. I love this movie. I did have all the other Dusk Till Dawn movies as well, but I don't know, I just didn't get into them as much. So, but this one, I absolutely loved the first one. So, yeah. Kept the 2-disc edition. Okay, now, you got Christine, which was about a car, which I do have the original disc for. It's in the pouch. It will end up in I might put another collection together of like different movies, But if you like horror spoofs, like Scary Movie or something, I'm going to probably give you one of the firsts. I bought a vampire motorcycle. Now, this is awesomely funny. I absolutely adore this. And even though I say, I used to watch this as a kid. And I used to love it. Every time the video van used to come around, like, vampire bike. I never realized the full title until I got a little bit older, and I think it was when I was in my teens. I never really saw the movie much. I was never really collecting movies like this when I was like a teenager. But it was when I got older. I was like, "What's that movie with the vampire bike?" And I was searching on like YouTube, and I was googling, and I found the trailer. I was like, "That's the movie!" And then I picked this up. Um, I am told now that this is the special collector's edition, which has all the extra features on it. Now, I am told this is now discontinued, and it's a bit of a collector's item. I don't know. I've never really looked. I'm not too bothered about Blu-ray, if I'm honest, whether it's DVD or Blu-ray, as long as it's got all the features. If there is a movie that I find the Blu-ray's got extra features on, depending on what movie it is and how much I do like it, I'll pick it up. I mean, I mainly do it with the Elvis stuff, if I'm honest, but um, I've never really looked for this, if I'm honest. I don't know what truth is in that, but uh, it's an awesomely funny movie. So if you like a bit of comedy and everything, but you still like the horror part of everything, this is the movie for you. Um, it really is an awesome movie. In fact, I might watch this tonight. But yeah, no, I can't be watching Father Brown. But yeah, I bought a vampire motorcycle. Another one of my all-time favorite movies is An American Werewolf in London. This is the 2-disc special edition. Then, the Leprechaun Collection. This is all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies. Leprechaun, Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 3, Leprechaun 4 in Space, Leprechaun in the Hood, and Leprechaun Back to the Hood. And then we go to the Sleepaway Camp Collection. The European title for this franchise is Nightmare Vacation. So you got Sleepaway Camp, 1983, Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers, 1988, Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland, 1999, and then you got the Return to Sleepaway Camp, 2008, which, by the way, Return to Sleepaway Camp is probably the crappiest out of the lot, and the most, boring. Now this this collection here, I say horror collection. I'm gonna name this video Horror and Thriller Collection, I think. Okay. Now this year, I had to look high and low for some of these. I could get this is the Stepfather Collection. Now I was able to get part 1 and 2 practically anyway, on DVD, but I knew there was a part 3 which was just made for TV. It did have a VHS release, and it did have a very limited DVD release. It wasn't the same actor, though, as in part 1 and part 2. It was a different actor. And I remember looking high and low for it, because I used to have it on videotape when I was a kid. But I couldn't find it anyway. And then I eventually found the DVD, but I didn't really particularly want to pay £150 to £200 for part 3 on DVD. I was a bit gutted, so I was trying to find a VHS release of it to do a transfer, a VHS DVD transfer. And I found a few, and I bought a few, and the quality was not really great on them, which is understandable. Some videos are good, some videos are not. Then I was searching one day, and I come across this box set. It was on a German site. I translated everything to English, and I was able to order. They shipped to the UK. And even though the text, because obviously I got all these covers to put on the back, all the DVDs are original. Obviously, you got the other one here, which is the remake, which I'll show you there. It's okay. It's a good DVD, but I found when I bought the box set, these discs, it's an original set. These are original discs. They're not copies or anything like that. The Stepfather 1, Stepfather 2, all in English. But even number 3, you got the German one at the top, and then Stepfather 3, and it was like, it was the only way that I could get the original DVD of Stepfather 3. And it was all, I can't even remember what site I ordered it from, but it came to about, I think it was like 30 odd quid for the box set. And I thought, it's the only way that I'm going to get Stepfather 3 on an original DVD. So I bought that, and all the audio is in English, so I didn't mind. And then I just put this cover together, which some of these covers I got off different websites. And then you've got the Psycho Collection. My wife bought me this as a present. I think it came in a box, but I took the box out. I don't know why, but Psycho Collection. I'm looking at my time. I hope I don't get too thin of space. I've still got quite a bit to show you. Oh, I forgot that. Back now with the Vampire Collection. This is Interview with the Vampire on Blu-ray. I had this given to me. So, pretty cool. So that's tub 1. I'm going to show you what I have in this one. Now this one doesn't contain all horror, so I'm gonna show you the horror ones that I got. So the next franchise is the Hannibal Lecter trilogy. Now it says trilogy, but it's more than 3 discs in here, I can tell you that much. Okay, again, the cover I put together myself. The discs, however, are all original. And I got them in order, in chronological, story-wise. So you've got Hannibal Rising, which is when he was young. Then you've got Red Dragon. And then you got The Silence of the Lambs. These are obviously double discs. Then you got Hannibal. And then you got the inside story of Silence of the Lambs documentary. And then we have, moving on up to something a little different, so thriller, horror, whatever you want to call it. This is the Tremors collection. This is a 7-movie collection, also includes the complete TV series as well. So you've got all the Tremors movies. Now my favourite is obviously the very first one. But again, I didn't do a back cover for this. I normally do like back covers when it's just white and clear. So these are all the original discs. And I put the series, and I've done them in like the order they would have done in, got released in, and so forth. And then Jaws, classic. Now, as you can tell, this cover is a bit redded, bloody. I'm going to tell the story about this cover, okay? But first, I'll show you all the movies. There's the first one, there's the second, there's the third, fourth, and the inside story. Now, and the discs are all original. I can't believe you can't actually get a Jaws collection with all of the movies in. It's like you've got to buy part 1 and then the other separate when it comes to DVD. I don't know if it's like that with Blu-ray, but there we go. Okay, I call this the Ultimate Collection because, as you can tell there, okay, there's the front, spine, and the back. Now, it looks good, doesn't it? Technically, all this is supposed to be blue. Like a dark sort of blue type thing. Well, it's supposed to be like that, really, if I'm honest. Why it printed this way, I don't know. I had an issue with my printer. And one of the cartridges got mixed up when I think I changed them in a hurry. And I've had this for years. But when it printed out, this is how it came. And I just thought it was a really cool effect. Especially with what movies they are. So I don't know, I can't even remember which colours mixed up because obviously that still printed as it should. But the main cover itself printed like that. But I thought it was such a cool effect. I thought, I'm going to keep this cover. So I've had this cover for years and years and years. And at the start, I used to have just copies in here, but then with a job lot in, because we do a lot for charity and different things, and we help out with things and what have you, and we got Jaws 1, a double disc edition, and then we got Jaws 2 and 3 and 4. And then I got the inside story, so I just put it into a one of these cases. That's that. Okay. Don't laugh. Well, I don't really care if you do. I'm not going to see you, am I? Sharknado. Probably the most wackiest shark films I've seen. If you don't know what Sharknado is, just Google it. Watch some of the trailers. Now, Mur is in one of the last ones from Impractical Jokers as well. These are all the movie collection. This is the whole movie collection of Sharknado. It says Disaster, the Ultimate Collection. Myself and my wife were going to put our own Ultimate Disaster Collection together. But when we did these, I said, you know what, we've got all the movies now. Then we just make a box set and give it its own set. So they're the Sharknado collections. They're pretty cool and funny. Okay, I've just completed this collection. The Exorcist Complete Anthology. This cover I made, the discs inside are original. There's only a few boxes I got where the discs are not. But I put this together. I scanned in my original box because it was quite thick, the box was. I thought I could condense that and make it thinner to put in the box. Now, when I scanned this in, this part, because it was like a silvery effect, it didn't scan in properly. So I had to carefully take a picture with my phone from a distance and zoom in and do some editing to create this section. Then I got all the individual covers and did that. And obviously that's the bottom of the original set. And then on the inside then, you've got the DVDs. And what I like about the anthology is you've got Demon, prequel to The Exorcist. Then you've got the Exorcist beginning. Then you got The Exorcist that came with the set. And then this file, I decided to add it in. Because I add it on its own separate disc anyway. Its individual DVD. Exorcist, the version you've never seen. Then you got part 2. And then you got part 3. Now part 3 is still quite expensive to get on DVD. I know you can pick it up on Blu-ray and stuff. But I'm not too bothered about that. I have seen the director's cut. And I prefer the theatrical version. Which is what this is here. Because there's more in it. So, that's my Exorcist collection. Now, there have been other movies like The Exorcist Believer, for instance. I'm not a fan of that movie. I thought it was really boring, and I was very, very disappointed in the ending. So I thought, nah, not going to entertain it. Again, personal preference. Following on from that is the Poltergeist collection. However, there's not 3 DVDs in here. I didn't create or recreate a cover or anything. This is the original set I bought from HMV. And all I did was just put it into a 4-way. Because I put the remake in here as well. Which is the extended cut version too. So, happy days. Then another box set then. Now this, I actually scanned in my cover, my big box for this, and I can obviously put it into a normal case, as you can see. This is the Wishmaster collection. There's the 4 movies in here. And I just scanned and edited and put it together. Oh, and I didn't do another back thing. I normally put something in the background when it's just a white and plain one. So, there we go. They're one of my favorite movies. The original, The Night of the Living Dead, from the 60s. What year was this made? Was it the 50s? Or was it the 50s? It was either the 50s or the 60s. Doesn't tell me on the disc either. So it's the original 50s or 60s version, but it's been digitally remastered in colour. Now, although I love the original black and white version, I do like. I mean, I don't mind watching black and white movies. In fact, I enjoy them very much so. but if I could have them in color, I would. However, there are some films like Elvis Presley's Jailhouse Rock and Love Me Tender and King Creole. Although they are, I don't entertain King Creole in color because what they colorize them in now and stuff like that, it's not true color. Anyway, let's not get into that. But basically, I do prefer the black and white versions of those movies. I do love the black and white version of this. I've got the black and white version of this. In fact, I might have to put this through a double case and put the original with it. But this is it in color. I'd never seen it in color before when it came to the original version. I always saw the remake, which was, I think it was 1990, I think, or 1989. But when I looked at this, oh, brilliant. And when I put it on, it was only then I discovered it was actually the original movie. And I had to get the original black and white and compare it, just for me to be sure. And I had to put the remake in, because I do have the remake. But that's not in yet for some reason. But yeah, that's the original version from the 50s or the 60s in colour. So, yeah, pretty cool to have that. Then another DVD then. Now, this was previously banned. Obviously, when this DVD got put out. I Spit on Your Grave. And it says they're previously banned. Obviously, this is one of the first DVD releases of it. And this is it's the uncut movie as well. So everything is there. Now, what I'm going to do is I've got the remake of this along with part 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the cover, change the case, and I'm going to put it into a 3-way case. I've got part 2, I've got the remake and part 2 of it in my pouch, which I'm going to show you. I do know there's more than, when it comes to the remake and part 2, and I do know there are more of them, but I've read the storylines on the others, and I know that I'm disappointed, because I don't want to see the original actress or what have you, get revenged upon and stuff. I just think it spoils it for me. So I'm just going to go and keep the original, which I love, and part 2, and obviously the remake. So that's that. The last in the pouches I'm going to show you is the Carrie collection. All of the Carrie movies. So 1, 2. So you've got Carrie 1976, Carrie the Rage, Carrie 2, sorry, The Rage, 1999, Carrie from 2002, and then Carrie from 2013. Again, discs are all original. Again, I don't know why I didn't do like probably I was busy or doing too much at once. But that's the Carrie collection. Okay, so that's my DVD horror thriller DVDs in the case. Now, what I'm going to show you is I've got a pouch with more in. Now, these are just disc-only ones. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to skim through, and I'm just going to show you the discs quickly. And right on the very first page, first section. So we've got The Entity. One from the Daily Mail. But you know what? It was through the Daily Mail. Good movie. Jack the Ripper, which has got Michael Caine in it. I do know there is a double disc version of that, so I'm going to get that. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Robert De Niro in that one. Right, then you got Stephen King's It, which is one of these type discs. I'm not a fan of those type of discs, to be honest with you. One of my favourite movies, which will end back up in the in a case, in a box. Robert Englund in 2001 Maniacs. Oh, gruesome film. You got the standard version of Bram Stoker's Dracula, because it's in there. I haven't put it anywhere else. It's a thriller type thing. Johnny Depp in Sleepy Hollow. That is actually the Fright Night Part 2. That's one of the ones you can get from Europe, which it's not 100%, to be honest with you, but I kept it anyway. Look on the DVD of Interview with Vampire, but I've already shown that. Another cool movie, the original, The Fog. I believe Jamie Lee Curtis is in that too. Then we've got The Evil of Dracula, The Bloodthirsty Rose. Then you've got Shadow of the Vampire. Ooh. And as I said, I do have the remake of Night of the Living Dead, which is... Then you've got one of my favourites, Vincent Price. The original DVD of The Bat. Black and white, but I love that movie. Then you've got another one that's just called Bats. That's more of a thriller. That's with Louis Diamond Phillips in. Then you've got Michael Caine, The Hand. It says Die Hand because I had to get it from Germany, but it's all in English. Christine. Oh, I forgot about that. Abraham Lincoln's Vampire Hunter. Creepshow. I need to get Creepshow too. That's so bloody expensive. Stephen King Sleepwalkers. These are my original Dracula DVDs at the moment. This is Has Risen from the Grave. And this one is the Scars of Dracula. Nuns on the Run. The classic Vaults of Horror. I love the Hammer. I love the Hammer stuff. What's have I got in here? Bear with me, bear with me. Bear with me. Ghostbusters, they're just like things, they're like comical movies. I'm not going to take these out, but I've got the Final Destination collection. One of my favourites, classics, the Monster Squad. That's disc 1, but I do have the other disc in here as well with it. Then you got Gremlins. Aha! I Spit on Your Grave remake. I Spit on Your Grave 2. Okay, so I got all the Child's Play collection as well. Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. Cape Fear, double disc edition. And yes, it is the Robert De Niro version. I absolutely love that movie. Okay, so I've got, this is a 4-disc set. This is the Hammer House of Horror. That's a 4-disc set. All 4 discs are in here. Okay, more of a thriller. This is called Buried Alive. I've got part 1 and part 2. And then I've got, obviously, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. But I've also got The Birds 2 Land's End, which is pretty rare to get hold of. I think that's it, isn't it? Oh, I got this here. Dracula 2002. Not really seen it yet. This is my Halloween uncut. Right, so this is also the Silence of the Lambs, but this is like a VHS version which got put out onto DVD. What else have I got here? Oh, Stephen King's The Graveyard Shift, The Howling, The Craft, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, Piranha, 1978. It's a thriller, Lost Voyage. And that's it. That's basically my horror, like, thriller collection type thing. I hope that you all enjoyed the video. It's a little different. You know, the reason why I did want to do this is because before, when I was showing different things, many people asked me, you know, what other stuff am I into, like, movie-wise, because I had emails saying, like, you know, you've obviously, up to a certain point, all I showed was Elvis, and then one day I decided to show, I think it was, after Elvis, I think it was my Orion collection. I think it was Ronnie McDowell, Shakin' Stevens. Oh, excuse me. And then I did a mixed one. So up to a certain point, it was all Elvis, and I started showing other things. And I had emails asking me, you know, what other music am I into, which stemmed from when I first started the channel out and started talking about other music here and there. And I found other collectors was doing the same thing as well. And basically, that's kind of how I just got the inspiration when people was asking me questions, you know, what other stuff am I into? So that's when I got the idea of, like, you know, do I want to show my horror collection? Do I want to show my comedy collection? What do I want to show? So, you know, I have different thoughts all the time, and I do go through the emails. I've still got tons to get through. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I want to thank you so much for all your emails, for taking the time to email me, and I do apologize if I don't respond to all of you. My life is so hectic. I'm always on the go. I never stop. I'm always doing something. I do have days where, you know, if I don't have anything on, I like to sit down, put my phone on the side, pick a movie, and just indulge and watch it, and then do whatever I got to do then afterwards. So it is just fitting in the time. It's getting the time to do these videos, but I do hope that you enjoy them. And, you know, this horror collection, I was back and forth with email. I mean, I only give my phone number out to people who I become really close friends with, and I only accept certain people on Facebook who I class as more, you know, as more of a friend than just, you know, a subscriber or whatever. You know, you gotta be careful these days, you know, with safety and, you know, stuff like that. I mean, there was one time I accepted somebody on Facebook. They wanted to come and visit me, and they wanted to take me out, and I'm like, I don't even know you, and I'm married. Thanks, but no thanks. So I ended up blocking and restricted the emails as well. So stopped replying. I found the subscriber on my YouTube, and I actually blocked the person, you know, took them off. I was like, whoa, no chance, you know. So things have been a bit nuts over the years, but, you know, that's the way it goes, I guess. I do hope I'm not the only one who's been through certain things, mind. I mean, someone did say to me the worst thing I did was put my email address up so people could contact me. That's because people wanted to ask me questions. And when people would put their email address up in the comment section, I'd have to remove that comment. I would take a copy of the email, but I'd remove the comment just in case people message them. I mean, myself, my email address for CJ's Den, it's specifically for my YouTube channel. I don't have that connected to anything else. So that's why I don't mind it, you know, because I don't have to ever log into it. But I do log into the emails at least twice a week to just check everything, you know. It's not at the forefront, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that, you know, you guys are nothing to me, because you're everything to me. You really are. I mean, I really can't thank everybody enough for subscribing and the comments and the lovely emails that you do send. It's been absolutely, it's really a pleasure. It really is. This for me, YouTube just started out as a hobby. After being inspired by many other collectors that I watched. I mean, I've watched. Obviously, one of the first ones I watched was Rossi73, and we become, he saw my videos, I saw his, we commented, we become like friends that way, and then it just, went on, and then we found each other, and, which I sent my number by, private email and stuff, and, we are now, we're brothers, we don't class each other as friends, we class each other as brothers. We may not be blood related, but we are family. And I truly love him to bits. The things he's helped me out with is unreal. And we've been there for each other as well. It's, and yet we still haven't met yet in person, but we have got to put that right this year, brother. I truly do love him to bits. I really do. He's the only person that could ring me and say where I am right now. We're expecting an earthquake. He's the only person I know who could possibly do that and laugh his head off at me and say, "All right, I've got my vodka and martini already." I'm like, he's laughing his head off, and I'm like, "Oh my god, really? Yeah, we're all okay." I'm like, I'm laughing my head off, and this only happened last night, by the way. I'm laughing my head off. He's laughing his head off. I'm thinking, well, I've had some phone calls before, but this is like, whoa. So it's not that I don't want to communicate with anyone. I do. It's just I get so many emails in that basically, there was one day I did respond to around 35 emails within a space of half an hour to an hour type thing, just double checking. And my wife was like, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. I'm like, yeah, hang on a sec, I'll be there now, just give me a minute. Well, a minute turned into much longer. So, but it really did just start off for me as a little bit of a hobby. I never expected my channel to grow as much as it has. And it has all been, thanks to everybody who inspired me to come onto YouTube and show my Elvis collection. And then from watching other collectors out there, I started showing my other collections, So, a mega, mega thank you to each and every one of you. And to those who I've become friends with outside of YouTube as well. Mark at 100% Elvis. We speak on the phone as well. An absolute gem. Check out his channel. I am gutted about my brother Rossi because obviously he had a fantastic YouTube channel and he was doing amazing work with footage restoring and doing some upgrading and so forth, and he was putting it out there, and other people were taking his videos by downloading them and re-uploading them onto their channels and taking all the credit, which was plain to see in the comments. I'm like, that's not you, that's not your work, you haven't done that, my buddy did. And then as time went by, it wasn't my buddy, my brother did that. And you're like, you slime son of a biscuit. So, it's crazy. Now he doesn't really do anything really on YouTube. He still have his channel though, because I know he still watches and he does comment on mine from time to time. But, I found YouTube can be so... Sometimes it can be just mental, tedious. Sometimes, though, it can be absolutely fantastic, And that's why I try to focus on the positive stuff, But if I got something to say, I'll put it out there, and that's that. So, yeah, a mega, mega thank you to each and every one of you who have subscribed. I mean, every couple of days, I'll, go onto my YouTube studio on my phone, on the app, and it tells me, at the moment, let's check that whilst I'm here with you. So I go onto YouTube Studio. I have got 7,906 subscribers. Oh, I don't know if that... Is that coming up there at all? I don't know if you can see that. Or how well you can see that. I don't think it's coming up that well. So yeah, 7,906 subscribers. And I really, really don't know what to say. I mean, I really can't thank you enough. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. My next video, it'll be when it'll be. There is a collection that I really have been dying to show you all for quite some time. But I still got to do a few tweaks to it because I want it right. You know what I mean? I want it complete and I want it perfect, if that makes sense. It's not an Elvis collection. It's actually my favourite comedian, who was also a singer and an actor and an impressionist. Let's see in the comment sections who will get it right. Those of you who know me personally are obviously going to know who it is, so don't you comment, alright? Give somebody a chance to who is just a subscriber of mine from all over the world. See if somebody else can guess it. So those of you who know me personally, you'll know. So you've got an advantage. So don't cheat. Let someone else have a little go, alright? And I mean that in the nicest possible way. So, no, whatever you guys are doing today, I mean, here in South Wales, in the UK, I'm looking outside and it appears to be a really nice day. So, whatever you guys are doing, wherever you are, I hope it's nice and I hope you have a fantastic day ahead. I've got to shoot off now because I've got a few things I've got to do, but I really want to do this video. Anyway, take care of yourself and I will see you all very soon. Bye.